actually as well, that they have got every finishing place so far this year except that grand finals win. So is it their time today to be able to do so? Oh my word, what a poll. And that says a lot actually for Reply Totem here, I feel, because Navi Nation have got the numbers behind this. Yeah. Normally Navi's polls are 90% as a standard. You know, 95 to 98 is pretty much where they will always inevitably sit. So actually, a lot of fans coming out here today for Reply Totem, and clearly a lot of their recent accomplishments backing that very idea. So Spike ban for Navi, bit weird for me. Barley and Ruffs. Barley ban, Shelly ban, and Ruffs is more my kind of flavor here for Reply Totem. But hey ho, maybe Navi have got something tankier up their sleeves, hence that first M's pick for Reply Totem, which can shred through the safe as well as just have that safety insurance policy against those tankier brutes.
Anita pick brought in one of the iconic Navi picks as well, even when Nita wasn't as meta as she's right now, because don't get me wrong, Nita's in a good place. She's pretty strong, and it's hard for me to admit it because I don't like Nita.
You hate it.
She is in a pretty good place, and she is finding some really good play pretty much only in high set competitive level, occasionally maybe in Brawl or here and there in Gem Grab too. But Hot Potato is absolutely the sort of map where you want that Nita in. It's going to be very strong at using the speed gear around the bushes, get up close and get some nice shots around the corners as well. But that bear, if it gets to the safe, it's going to be dealing a ton of damage. A shield with it, and if you're facing too many tanks, potentially the stun instead to play more defensive. It's very versatile, it's very strong, and it fits in a pretty similar role to Jessie, which is interesting to pair them up together. It's pretty rare to see them together, although Jessie does counter Nita just a little bit, you know, if the bear is close up and the bounces of the shots can, you know, be quite problematic. That is not going to be the case here.
Dynamite's a great place actually for it here on Hot Potato. Navi are bringing out that awful comp that you get in Power League time and time again to stomp all over you. Reply Totem are not the team to play it against. I feel like they're going to be the ones actually which are going to be able to counter it pretty well, leave the Nita, you know, without super on the save and just focus on getting their damage in. But it is still a bit of a concern. Search for defense, I completely understand it. They've got to be very, very cautious. Ultimately, this is going to come down to the Jessie and the Nita to really just try to shred through things as quickly as possible. You know, Hyper Bear on the safe, no doubt about it on that star power side. Shocky as well, ideally, or Spark Plug rather, Recall Spring. Jessie's got so much ability to just absolutely annihilate the spawn side. And to add to that, they haven't got much range. That's the thing. Edgar going to come in for assassinations is edgy. I'll give it that. I mean, they're going to be looking for the Dynamite pickup. That's where their primary focus will be with that Edgar.
Hey, Edgar has a 100% win rate so far today, so...
Yeah!
Oh, actually, I didn't watch this morning's show, so maybe not, maybe not. Don't quote me on this one, but in this show, he has a 100% win rate.
In the sense.
Yeah, I don't know how well he's going to be doing against Surge, because, like, I would gladly pick a Surge into an Edgar. Also, the knockbacks from the M's are going to be pretty much exclusively used for the Edgar anyways, as the Jessie and the Nita don't necessarily want to get all that close either. So I want to see it, but if anyone can make Edgar work, it's going to be Angel Boy, because he has been such a threat so far this year on those aggressive brawlers. He already was a big name in the previous years of the BSC, but I feel like so far this is looking to be his year.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal, hasn't he, on those bus picks, which is what I thought he might actually maybe even bring in on this one. But look at this. Reply Totem have stormed this left-hand side, broken some space to be able to see the crossover there with EMEA, and again, depriving him of that super. This is all about defensive, and I think now, yeah, Reply Totem need to just spread out a little bit here, get a bit of this clustering away of things. Look at that. Joker just absolutely clearing house there. Navi have got to match this pace.
Good stuff from Reply Totem so far. Navi on the back foot, but we do have some util to work with. Another Edgar jump. The turret is never going to be seeing the light of day, at least not until the respawn. The Angel Boy eventually does find Mari. Should be a pretty straightforward target. So far, every second that goes by is going to be favoring Reply Totem. They're happy to hold on to that position as they do still have a 43% lead.
And no damage whatsoever so far for NaVi. They found Joker. The jumping from Angel Boy is good. He's creating so much space, honestly. And everyone now needs to follow up behind it. Cooper's got super as well. EMEA does as well, but that could be a waste of the bear. And it is. Mario will take care of that. Easy pickings. Oh, Cooper gets value though as well. No super though. If he had super now, it would have been absolutely devastating. But the damage nonetheless is coming in finally for NaVi. Starting to make this comp work.
It was a tough death for Maru, putting in so much work just to die from a Jesse bounce. But that happens. Nevertheless, Reply Totem still was over double the HP, almost double the HP on safe. Comparatively to NaVi, the jump in from Angel Boy. Again, a free kill there onto Maru, but a jump in from Maru. It's going to give him a taste of his own medicine. EMEA as well. Can't quite commit there in the mid, and they're stacking up on the side of Reply Totem. Just got to make sure they dodge those shots from the Jesse, but Maru is going to be putting an end to her life as no, he gets some nice shots onto the safe and doesn't really need the extra damage. He just needs to keep them at bay.
At a time I feel before, that is going to prevail to actually give what Cube and MMA need to get the connection on the safe. Let's see though, Reply Totem played it great. They are not unaware of the situation at hand. Look at the value of Angel Boy there. They're leaving Maori. I don't mind it necessarily, but we need Cube and MMA to have super, which they don't. So the damage is going to come in, but it's not nearly as good as it could be.
Yeah, actually, I mean, it's fairly even, all things considered. I mean, the problem here for NaVi is that since Angel Boy got pretty much all the kills and all the value, they had no bear, no turret, and that means no damage on safe. The stun not quite going to connect there either. Angel Boy with some nice jukes. Maru does have super. Looking to get that kill into Angel Boy. He will miss the jump, but the follow-up shot is going to connect and claim that kill. In the meantime, Joker is melting down that blue safe, and NaVi are in a world of trouble.
Yeah, it's over. It's done. Joker's been absolutely tearing it with the M's. Maru's on max, hitting them a little bit in that first set. We'll see going into Bounty up next dry season whether they'll do the same or learn from it.
Dry season is going to be a very, very different map. Obviously, Bounty as a whole tends to be just a little bit more passive, but that's the kind of game mode where NaVi comes in and changes the expectations. I want to see some aggressive ideas again. That is what tends to be the most successful for NaVi. So far for Reply Totem though, none of those in mind, as they are going to go Ruff's first pick. Just very versatile, very standard, not a Brawl you can really hard counter on its own. It's going to be a Gene to match it so far, as well as a Mr. P, so a bit more classic here on the side of NaVi, the Mr. P that has recently been making waves in the meta, where it hadn't been really seen for a very long time, but it's been played and it's been successful here and there.
Yeah, I think we've seen more Mr. P today than we have the entire year so far, right? And the win rates seem to be reflecting some of the hype. I don't know whether it's a go-to thing for me yet. I mean, maybe it will develop a bit more, but so far, so good. Shelly, though, is where my eyes are always at, you know? If that Brawl is not banned, you should be picking it, realistically. I mean, it's basically viable everywhere. I saw SK Gaming playing it in quals on Kaboom Canyon, and they still got the wins. I mean, if you can play on Kaboom Canyon, you can play it anywhere. Mandy coming in for NaVi, a Brawl that I'm not a fan of. I don't rate her. I don't think she should be played here, but nonetheless, a very strong super, a devastating super, but you got to line it up, and you don't get it frequently. So if you miss that open opportunity and your opposition just are able to foresee it coming or able to juke around it, you haven't really got much in your kit that's going to help. Maybe you can find some angles here and there to really kind of suppress the situation, especially on a map like Dry Season in the back spawn areas, maybe. But I don't know how much of a fan I am of this, to be completely honest. And Reply Totem have got all the abilities to break the map. NaVi have got none of that, except for the gene pools here and there. So it's a risky comp. This could be Reply Totem taking the set.
Let's find out. I do like this trend of seeing more and more often the Shellys to try to deal with gene pulls, right? Because if you pull the Shelly, I mean, it's the gene that dies, realistically. So those sort of ideas are becoming more and more common and more of a go-to. So far, Blue Star was easily won over by Reply Totem, and Joker is finding some good value as well with his shots, getting closer and closer to his super once he gets one, and he does right now. This could be the way to find one, if not more openings. It's going to be a miss, but they still find a kill onto Cube that had to funnel away. Nice snipe from Angel Boy to get the trade, and nevertheless, it's still a 2-star lead in favor of Reply Totem.
He's found a nice little spot, hasn't he, Angel Boy there? Just really tapping the shots and keeping Reply Totem at bay, but they find themselves in this position. Again, could prove costly. Now can sit behind the wall. Now the gadget pop potentially for EMEA didn't come, actually, so interesting to see. But they can just sit back and allow NaVi to make the push. With Angel Boy having no super, they can't really do much behind these walls, too much. Maybe a gadget here and there can help, but let's see, another portal. And now the gadget pop is there. Now the push through. Not so much, really. Reply Totem not standing their ground, and 30 seconds now on the clock.
Cube does have a pull, and 1 kill is all it takes. If that kill is onto Maori, with some trades here and there, things could still very much change. Supply drop plays down. And so far, Joker is getting more and more tanky. The super from Joker is going to be missed. The second one he whiffs, but it does buy some time. Super from Angel Boy only finds 1 connection. That's very important. Otherwise, he would be able to chain supers, but that's not going to be the case. The pull is onto a sandbag. Maori finds Cube, and Reply Totem take a game.
System have got a comp that's not only good on the offensive, but good on the defensive. It fits both molds, and it worked out perfectly for them. They didn't look like they were really struggling too much. Early Furious there from Cube. Oh, and a takedown actually onto Maori. Early clay pigeon pop of the gadget from Maori will give some good range, but so far it is the lead with NaVi, and that was kind of surprising to me. Maori got a bit overextended there.
Yeah, I don't want to say unlucky, because technically it's just like bad placement. It was a split second, really. You know, the sandbag, I think he expected it to tank it, but he didn't have the chance to move yet, so he got prioritized for that Mandy shot and ended up going down. Gadget from Angel Boy not gonna find a connection just yet. NaVi still with that 1-star lead from that opening kill. Joker is low HP, but some very, very good dodges, and EMEA is low himself. Cube is tempted to go for a pull, but it's a Shelly with super, and my friend, it doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah, I wonder whether he's going to do it at some point. If they can whittle Maru down, you can take down the Shellys with super regardless. It's not undoable, but it can be something which can be heavily memed later looking back on things, so they wouldn't want that. Big taps though there from the Gene side, keeping Reply Totem clustered. Might be to their advantage, as they are running field promotion on the rough, so they're actually going to benefit off the back of those moments. Nonetheless, though, just a 1-star differential here, and it could be all it takes. Joker's low here. Does the survive on Maru trying to find out? Oh, that's the super wheel wave from Angel Boy. They're extending the lead now in the final moments.
It took a game and 80% of the second one to really see that Mandy at play, but it seems like they found their groove, as right now Angel Boy is sitting casually on 5 stars as NaVi pick up a dominant win here, evening things out 1 each for this match.
That is the one that should more often than not kind of survive through to prevail, but they can deprive Angel Boy like they did in the first game and maybe not concede that early death. Oh, Maru, as I'm saying it, could be history repeating. They back off now, but that was a bit of a shaky start. The blue star is with Totem, and they are back in their spawn where they want to be.
Yeah, that is very different, and you know, that is the repeatable success formula that they did have in that first game. The ability to get that blue star and make it out alive, giving you the lead and enabling you to play defensively in game 2. NaVi were able to get the kill after that blue star was picked up, and Reply Totem not quite as efficient on the offense as they were on the defense.
Gotta get a bit of utility behind this realistically there. A couple of shots here and there. Yeah, Mari now has supply drop over to Joker. So be careful to pick it up. Filling up now, Maru and just sit behind this cube low here as well in the mid. Angel Boy gets a lovely gadget. The follow-up. Oh, great juke from Joker. He needed to make sure he landed that timing, and he did. So these gadgets from Angel Boy or exacerbated now. They've got to go the aggressive, and Cube is overzealous there and gets punished for it. Big snap there from Maru. The gadget to follow it up. Reply Totem are now feeling the groove.
Angel Boy is close to his super. That could be huge if he gets some tags across the board, maybe even some kills. He's not there just yet. Maru has a super as well to try to dissuade any aggression on that right-hand side, but he does get tagged quite low HP. Needs to be very careful here, because 5 stars can quickly happen, but Joker finds Cube. Maru is just running down MMA. Angel Boy is going to be his next victim, and Maru finishes the game with 5 stars. 11 for Reply to try to turn around the lead earlier into the game, because the longer it takes, the harder it gets.
Hot Zone up next, Parallel Plays. A map that we've seen recently coming back in to the flow of things. And I'm really grateful for it. You know, I really do love this map in Hot Zone. It plays out very differently to a great deal of others. Some B-mid ideas. Look at the bans. That says a lot to me. We saw, you know, a lot of Sam in North America and EMEA last time around. Max coming as the first pick. Ash banned as Mr. P and Sam for Reply Totem. Leon, Jesse, Stu. These are outrageous bans for anywhere else, and that's why I love this map in particular. Lou's still around, remember? Shelly coming in for NaVi, and that might not be a bad thing for them to finally cotton on to the fact that, you know, it is probably one of the best brawlers in the meta. There's a reason why 99% of the time it is banned, but to pair it now, we've got to also have something to counteract a lot of this, you know, speed from the Max, some control, some range. Personally, I think B's not a bad shout, but RT can be a good one. Body gonna come in for them. Yes, something along those lines it had to be. So I quite like the way it's shaping up, but what have Reply Totem got off their sleeve here, Teddy?
Yeah, I like the Max. I really do. Just very versatile and ton of team utility while still being that incredibly independent and strong brawler as well, that's able to create space on its own and win duels. I do like things on the side of NaVi as well. I mean, you know, if you can't beat it, just join them with the Shelly being brought in. We'll have a Barley at last here for Reply Totem. Can find some good value, especially on the defensive side, at least early on. You can play it mid too. You can also play more aggressive with it, but a bit less typical, I guess. I don't mind it. I think it's a fairly decent pick, not the flashiest, however. I'm hoping to see something fun here, and I think Nita is going to be quite a fun one to bring out as their final pick on the side of Reply Totem. NaVi, this is their chance to hit hard with some strong counters.
I don't know about the Nita. I'm not sure whether it has a place here myself, but it's not terrible. Just wasn't the rounded brawler that I was expecting for the comp on the side of Reply Totem, to be honest. Barley I can get. I think it's got a place here. The Max as well. Not too bad in the mid for sure. And obviously, you know, time is of the essence when it comes to parallel plays. So having everyone get back into the action's crucial. Willow going to come in for NaVi. I can understand it. I don't think I'm a fan of Willow on this particular map and mode, if I'm honest. But it can cause some havoc. You know, you can also find it quite easily on the left-hand side to kind of seek through the bushes. You know, it's more of a brawl that I expect in Brawl simply because the mind control there gets so much more value. Yes, you can use mind control in Hot Zone to get your opposition away from the zone, and that can be very valuable, let's be honest. But the timings for it, they're kind of niche, and more often than not, for me in parallel plays, it's aggression, which is rewarded more so than control. But they're going to go up against the Barley, I imagine, in that particular matchup. Let's see how it fares.
Yeah, I'm very curious about how this Willow is going to come into play. I feel like, in theory, Barley has the better matchup, just purely in their thrower mechanics, right? But
yeah,
utility-wise, it's very different. NaVi was one of the teams that embraced Willow the most at release. It's been a while now since release, and we're not seeing the most Willow plays. Nevertheless, they could still make something happen with it. On the right-hand side, they are gaining ground consistently. Maru is going to end up going down. Angel Boy was a great pickup onto Maru, and this is looking incredible right now for NaVi, as they have presence in both zones. Reply Totem and none.
Big miss from Angel Boy there. And Joker was able to survive on in the meanwhile as well, and really should have gone down. Maru gonna tick down to 600 HP on the left-hand side. But now that zone at the top right has already been captured by Reply Totem, so they can start to go more on the aggressive. But now have NaVi also. Maru, very low here, and should be going down a bit fast. I think Cube's missing a couple of shots here. Some nerves potentially showing here as the breakthrough from Joker is there as well. And he is now on the zone, bringing back MMA and Angel Boy to have to deal with him and buying valuable time.
Very well done by NaVi. 18% in their favor as Reply Totem is trying desperately to make something happen. Shelly is definitely a problem. Cube is hitting a lot of shots as well from afar. And Maru goes down, has time to place a bear, potentially dangerous here for NaVi as MMA is mind controlling Joker, but I mean, he's just gonna end up going down as soon as the mind control ends. And now Cellular Reply Totem are catching up, and it's a bad timing here for NaVi as well, because it's getting closer and closer to the finish line. And Reply Totem, they could fully commit to that left zone if they can take down Angel Boy now that they have the lead. They will have the advantage, but a kill there, and that should be enough to even fix out. The barrier is still there, though. Joker's still there as well. 3% in favor of Reply Totem, but their entire structure has fallen apart.
This is what Reply Totem is so good at doing, is just keeping NaVi in the back. Now Cube's broken through, found a bit of space. There is time. Now, with everyone coming together from NaVi, it's Reply Totem in trouble. Now, Maru gets the takedown. There's still two members on the zone. There's the mind control. The value actually from that is worth it. And Maru just going off into the zone, shooting his teammates. It's to the pleasure of NaVi Nation. And I don't know if this is the comp to do it. I hope for their sake it is.
Yeah, I feel like Reply Totem, they figured out, you know, how to deal with this NaVi comp a little late. And if they manage to do a better job in defense early on, it could be a very different story. Only time will tell. As Angel Boy gets a super off onto Maru. Joker pumping speed, trying to close the gap there onto Angel Boy. Instead, Cube will get the elimination, and as super now as well. Maru goes down. Big shot there from MMA. And so far, so good for NaVi. A strong start again.
Cube's going to struggle a bit here with this lack of speed, yeah, and he will get taken care of. There comes out for Angel Boy. Can't really do much about it with that shield. Now all three members of Reply Totem starting to push the way forwards. And it's still MMA, the backbone at the moment with this Willow pick that I'm still not sold on, but has been getting some good value, some good moments from. Just keeping the control and waiting for the moment to really shine with it. Keeps still struggling against that Max, as you know he's going to. You know, it's such a slow and sluggish thing to have against you. But NaVi are in the lead. Let's not forget, the aggression is all Reply Totem as it should and needs to be. But so far, NaVi have got some time and they are back on that zone.
Yeah, that 2-on-2 on the right side is just not really in Reply Totem's advantage, because throwers are usually going to be in a 1v1 better on the defensive side, which is why the party has been struggling so much against the Willow, because it just can't really close ground even if he gets some damage to a fifth and final.
I mean, those stats say exactly what I was talking about. You know, Cube had an awful round. Gave out the least DPS, 1 kill to his name. It was effectively a 3 versus 2 for Reply Totem, in my opinion. You know, so they've got to now, going into Gold on Gulch, go back to their winning ways. You know, look back at those first sets, see through those drafts, and you know, I thought they had a good draft. That's why I'm a little bit concerned now. But nonetheless, Tick going to be their first pick coming in. The band's being Grey, which is a great one to have on this map. Grom, I think, is great too, and Max. For NaVi, Gus, Max, and Grey as well. So showing some signs here of some similarities, and Shelly coming in as the first pick, as we saw in the previous set. And we know how that previous set went for them under those circumstances and the team. Let's see though, it's actually quite a difficult map to make Shelly work. If you're going to use your super, then you're going to potentially take away your own bush if you're being pushed upon your spawn side area, and you want to obviously maintain that at all costs. You know, speed gear going to be of the essence in that respect for Shelly here, but it's not necessarily as straightforward. You are buying time. You are wanting your teammates to survive through until the gas closes in. So let's see whether Reply Totem can be able to go on the aggressive a bit more with their comp. Eve coming in to match the tick, which is a bit of an overtime idea, an RT. Not a bad idea. I think it's very standard stuff from Reply Totem for Golden Gulch.
Yeah, I think one of the questions for me as well was that Shelly pick is going to be how it's going to be used and how much value they're able to find in the early rounds without burning through their entire utility. We saw in the previous match, SK Foot, that when Shelly was using Knockout and they end up using all 3 gadgets in the first round, they'll probably win it, but then there's nothing left in the tank for rounds 2 and 3, and that's where it gets really dangerous, because closing the gap is the big challenge for that brawler. We'll see Sprout as their final pick to get access to a thrower, get some shots over walls, and, well, some more walls into the mix as well to block off areas. It's definitely a solid one here. I like to draft on both sides. I'm a little bit worried for Reply Totem and their ability to deal with that Shelly.
Yeah, I am too. I like the Sprout final pick. It kind of had to be for me. Interesting that Penny is now starting to fall back a little bit, because we tend to often see teams gravitate towards that here, but love the skin, by the way, that Maro's running. It's definitely lighting up the map. But will it light up a win for Reply Totem? That's the question. Oh, huge gadget from Cube. He could have got the kill there on Joker. I think there's a bit of also wave coming into play there, because he had that one in the back. As far as I was concerned, the range surely was enough for him to be able to secure it, right?
I think so too. I was pretty much thinking the exact same thing. But I guess it wasn't quite meant to be here for NaVi. Joker and Maro are trying to close the gap. Cube is in an awkward position. Will feed some of Maro's super. Ultimately, doesn't matter the most just yet. There's some nice flanking from Joker on the top side of the map. And he goes down. I think the gas actually doing just enough damage to take him down. Cube has a super as well. This is troublesome. The Tickhead is going to be heading his way, as well as the Hatchlings. It's very messy, but it's a 3v1, and one that Maro should not be allowed to win. NaVi pick up the first round, and they seem to be on a bit of a win streak now.
Look at this. Creepy on the right hand side, but they are spotted. I was worried if they were going to get through, and yeah, Cube is so dangerous, right? So the amplified shots of the RT is where they need to be landing. EMEA has one now, but it will relinquish itself just a few moments. Oh, and let's tap up again from Joker. But this is why I'm worried. You know, NaVi are starting to gain this momentum now. Got that first round. It's still very early days in this set, but they are playing the comp well. You know, I like the idea of double stacking in that right-hand side, or triple stacking as it was, and buying down the clock. Vengeful Spirit's now coming out for EMEA, giving everyone a bit low, just keeping them clustered. You know, that's kind of the way you want this for NaVi. As the time goes on, they've got all this utility, all the supers in the world, and I think they've got the bit of the edge now.
Yeah, it's looking good for them. I agree. The gene pool available as well. The combination with the Shelly super are going to be quite threatening. Joker does have a super of his own, but that wall is going to be locking Joker and Maru out of the equation. It's a 3-on-2 though. Maru with a gadget. Cube goes down somehow. Reply Totem turn around this situation. And now suddenly they're a round away from a match point.
But let's see. EMEA's got pull. Will he try and use it early on and be bold in that respect, or wait the timer down just a bit? Ideally, I kind of want to see NaVi make that play. And it's going to be a tough thing to see if it goes wrong, but great control from Maru. Shots raining down to Cube, just forcing everyone down to this bottom left-hand corner. And much needed healing paths there from EMEA onto Angel Boy, because he's taking a lot of shots there from Joker. Be cautious in that respect. Cube creeping his way forwards, wants to create some space, and I don't doubt that that is the way forwards. So far, Reply Totem really are shutting down a lot of these angles, and he can't really find the moment to pounce.
Dickhead still in hand here for Maru. His Cube overstays his welcome on the top side of the map. A nice shot there to connect from Joker. Ticket is going to be placed down at last. Angel Boy is low. Murray going for a wide flank, even into the gas, a 2-on-3. Angel Boy now in a 1v2, and he's not going to be able to win that one. But it's time to show it now.
In we go. Sprays for NaVi might not be enough. They need a win. And Reply Totem can sense that this could well be their moment to escape the curse of April and get through back into the semi-final stages where they like to be the most comfortable that we tend to see them. They're getting on the more on the aggressive now, pushing through big taps from Joker, who's really landing that everyone on the side of NaVi has got an amplified mark above their heads. I'm surprised for that reason that Joker's not popping Gadget there. I think he did in the end, but like, you know, it's a perfect time for it, and they were taking so much time around it, but I think NaVi have come a little bit unhinged. They've got to go back to some of these plays that were making them shine through, but control is all with Reply Totem, there's no doubt about it.
There is an early gene pool unlocked by EMEA, and you know how deadly those can be. Cube also getting a bit aggressive. Needs to be very mindful. That thick head that's coming in now, that will be taken care of very nicely by Cube. Maru was an aggressive jump, gets melted down, and the wall here is a problem. They're low HP. Joker slipped through, but is that enough? A 1v1, and a gas is going to be settling it here in favor of NaVi.
What a clutch moment, but again, you know, Angel Boy survived on. It was a great wall, but it's a bit too close for me, considering that Reply Totem have got match point and NaVi haven't got a game yet in this set. But, you know, those moments you got to embrace and try to replicate as best you can. Great value there from Angel Boy. Has now a wall to hand. Might choose to use it early even, because the way that Reply Totem are separated a bit, they might be able to secure something from it. Still getting great splash. Maru, surprised that the pull wasn't there from EMEA, but with splash damage. There's so many supers on the side of Reply Totem, and that gets me worried.
The sprout wall is also not going to be the best we've ever seen here from Angel Boy. Needs to be very careful with the next one. He's going to call it back. Doesn't have unlimited gadgets either. Vengeful Spirits go through, only connection onto Joker. The gas does find some value there, but Joker still finds Cube. EMEA with the pool, finds Maru. It's a 2-on-2, and Mari is low HP. He's gonna fool Joker now in a 1v2, but the gas again is gonna be what settles it. And this time around, the seats are reversed, and Reply Totem a round away from winning this quarterfinal match.
Fantastic stuff. Patience, perseverance, the whole package. Reply Totem are one round away from sealing it, and what a turn it will be for NaVi, having gone from monthly finals champions of April to first to leave in the quarterfinals. Let's see. They've got still a great comp for it, but they're not really able to survive these final moments in the gas stages. Reply Totem know it. Closing in as well. We need to see more from EMEA. We need to see a pull, an earlier pull. Make it an early 3 versus 2, but there's been very reserving with that. And I just hope it doesn't come back to bite.
EMEA does have his gene pool. Can it be as impactful as it was in round 2? It wasn't enough, but it for sure gave them a huge boost and fighting chance. There's a kill, EMEA. He's gonna get some more value, but it's...
You're not gonna lose any utility for it. You know, it's not gonna be a problem in that respect. But they didn't go for it. So I think being a little bit sheepish on the side of NaVi here, you know, and I want to see more aggression from them, because you kind of have to against Reply Totem. You gotta match that vibe and obviously not be overly so, but they are doing that now. Gotta be a bit careful. They are giving away a lot of value in terms of their HP, and that's gonna feed supers left, right, and center. But very much a different situation now, as this is kind of what you want to do against Reply Totem. Separate them out and try to make it that early 3 versus 2.
Sprout wall plays down. Apologies, I thought it was set, but not quite. That's just how strong NaVi were looking. I thought they had another game already locked in. Some tags from Joker from afar. Nearly tags all 3 again. Not quite. And so far, things seem fairly even. No supers available on either side, as the gas is starting to spawn in, first on the bottom and top, now on the sides as well. And this is where things can get dangerous. Maru is going to be embracing those walls for now. Maru locked in, a 2-on-2, a scary one as well. There is Cube. He had that super, so realistically, there was nothing that Reply Totem could do at that point. And a round is picked up by NaVi, just one away from taking us to a 5th.
Yeah, this is what NaVi can do sometimes, and then they just claw it back somehow, some way. I think Reply Totem now really do need just to nip this in the butt and get this one done. We saw it last time around. They do find within themselves to persevere. It's one of the great qualities actually about NaVi. They never count themselves out, and when they don't have a great month, they do come back stronger, no doubt about it. Let's see though now. Reply Totem have got something to muster up here. They're only 2 rounds away from locking themselves in, but that one round that went the way of NaVi now really could be such a costly one for Reply Totem if they do not shut this down.
Underestimating the Shelly has been one of the biggest mistakes any team has done so far in this EMEA monthly final. And this game might prove that right once again. Oh! A free kill onto that tick. Joker is next in line, and Nav on overall for NaVi has been very much a team effort, and they've been able to find great success with it as well. I still stand by what I said. Reply Totem need to stop underestimating the Shelly. It's 2 sets in a row now, and I mean, if this draft goes the same way, I wouldn't be surprised if they get reverse swept.
It's been 2 consecutive sets, you know. That's the worry, and this is very, very similar to what happened back in April for Reply Totem versus Foot. And it's happening again. It was a reverse sweep then, and it's the same story. Shelly's open, pick Shelly. It's 1-2 sets prior to this, and Reply Totem didn't ban it. And I hope for their sake that that was the play, that was their plan, you know, because I called it happening, and it's happening. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's got to be a mid pick now. They've got the abundance of choice for their mid brawler, whether they want to go with I'm assuming Crow's mid there, but it could be obviously like the Gene, it could be the 8-bit, it could be running aggressive lane Crow. I mean, crazy things have happened, but what do you make of it so far?
I don't like what I'm seeing, Ark. I really don't. I just think that, you know, like, for example, Gus is good. Like, Gus is strong. But I don't see how he's higher in the priority list than Shelly. And then again, I'm not a pro player, you know, so there are probably reasons, but we've seen what Shelly's been doing so far for NaVi, and we're going to see it again. And I'm really scared of it. But Reply Totem, hoping they prove me wrong. Ruffs is going to be brought in. Definitely not a bad pick. Love some Ruffs action. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know.
There's some scary prospects. They've got the final pick on the side of Reply Totem. RT going to come in for, yeah, something more of a staple diet. I imagine that would be kind of like the mid-controller. I might prefer Gem Carrier, but Penny going to come in. Has fallen off a little bit, just a touch, but still so versatile in terms of meta. This is going to be a banger for Reply Totem here for me. I mean, you know, it just has to be a winning draft for them. Or they're going home early. So I don't know how I feel. I mean, they've got an opportunity here. I definitely feel like they can go on the aggressive against some of this comp. But I don't feel like so far I'm siding with it. Whether this final brawl is going to change my mind, it doesn't.
I was going to say, let me guess. Did it change your mind?
I saved you there, right? I mean, I rate Bo. I love playing it. It's a great brawler that I think is very underrated. But I just don't feel it works in this scenario here. It's great on ladder. It gets great results. It's definitely fallen off as a mid, which I'm assuming is taking it. I'm asking a lot of questions here, Teddy, because I'm a little bit confused. It's not the Reply Totem draft that I was expecting.
I just don't know what they should draft either, you know what I mean? Like, you're facing a Shelly, as you said, something aggressive would have been nice against the comp for the most part, but like against the Shelly, you can't really go that aggressive, and RT as well is going to be melting you down up close once he gets his super. which, seeing how much he's tapping already, is not going to take forever, and already a first kill there from Cube. I mean, I don't want to call it now, but I kind of want to call it now. I see NaVi going to the semifinals.
Yeah, well, I saw them going to the semi-finals from the beginning of the day, but, you know...
This might be the shortest match of the day.
Let's see. I mean, at the moment, it's definitely fair to say that Joker's struggling in this mid against the Cube matchup against the RT. Now that Angel Boy's broken this entire left-hand side, it does provide some space, and he's now struggling 17 HP, taken care of. This is the time to push, and Reply Totem know it. Great sandbags there from Maru, and it plates a lot of what Cube was had up his sleeve, but can catch up some lost time. The supply drops now coming in as well from Mario are really quite crucial. And let's see how Joker's going to respond with that in mind, because they need something up their sleeve. They really do. They are behind here, but they are now starting to get some of their flow together and catching up.
Yeah, it's definitely looking better, but the setup time was long. And that can be quite problematic, because even though they've had control for so long, NaVi still has a commanding lead when it comes to gem count. That is going to be a problem here for Reply Totem, especially as Joker gets melted down, forced to fall back and reset. Cube, in the meantime, is still able to keep the pressure up. Reply Totem are catching up at last. They really have found some more mid control. The mines will also slow down any progress. Even if NaVi find an opening, they won't be able to push up the mid as easily. The slow there onto Angel Boy is huge. That locks in a kill for Joker. Some nice jukes from Joker as well, but he's low HP himself now. And Cube is not quite able to finish him off. That's gem number 10, and a countdown locked in for Reply Totem. A weak one, though, because NaVi can tie it up by picking up the next 2 gems that spawn.
Yeah, but oh my word, Cube got so over-comfortable there. There's no time. Well, they would actually get a reset somehow, but like I just don't see how they lose mid-control here. MMA is too low. He's not the ideal gem carrier realistically here either. Gadget pop from Angel Boy, jumping from Maru. They stole it. NaVi had this in the bag as far as I was concerned. They really did, and they blew it.
Moving into game number 2. It's match point now for Reply Totem, and hope that MMA knows it's match point o'clock now.
Yeah, they got to turn the set around. I mean, the way they started it, I feel like it was looking like you said, do you want to call too soon? I think Cube also could have gadgeted earlier towards the end of that last game and actually got the gems to drop, but I need to look back at the replay to see for sure, but you know, that would have maybe made a difference there. I mean, if they were not with Joker, it could have made somewhat of a difference. Slow there, big slow there from Mary, jumping, great synergy now. Reply Totem is starting to communicate. They've probably been a bit quiet. They've been losing back to back, and it would be fair to say that they're probably, you know, feeling the brunt of it. Now, showing signs of life at just the right time. Maybe it's not too little too late for them now. 4 gems, mid-control, Mario in a great spot. Let's see how NaVi respond.
It's a much better start on the side of Reply Totem. Maru is a supply drop, going to be opening up the walls. Needs some sandbags now to help him out, and Cube was careless. Bad communication on the side of NaVi, and their gem carrier goes down. The gems will be retrieved by MMA, but certainly not ideal. As Reply Totem have a little bit of a lead, and Cube again gets stunned. Yeah, that should not happen at this level of play, whether it's the nerves or I don't know what. It is a problem here for NaVi because Reply Totem are close to the finish line.
Not again, Cube, please, thank gosh. My word. It's happened time and time again. It wasn't just then, but it's happened a lot. We've got to be very much more careful around those mines. You know, you can't continuously trigger those. 6 gems now to 8. There's 2 in the mid here for Reply Totem. So Mary having jump here is very much something to keep an eye on here. It could prove a saving grace and has time and time again. Big taps from Cube now onto Joker. Some space on the right-hand side. Maru finds it. Sandbags go down. NaVi are in a world of hurt. It's done. It's choked. Reply Totem steal it yet again. And NaVi did not learn from their mistake.
The bow diff from Reply Totem, the mines that undermine any chance of success here for NaVi. Reply Totem are moving on to the semifinals, and NaVi are out in quarters. They did make it to first place last month, or the last monthly final, I guess, in April. This time around, it's going to be an early loss that sends them home.
Oh my word. I'm going to get a lot of stick from Travelator when it comes to predictions, but